And welcome back. Hi there everyone. Yes, it's me, Ghost Critic, back for another week of could be great comics. You won't know what I thought until you've watched this video. So don't stop, don't pause it, keep listening. And we start straight off with one of my favourite Vertigo titles that's not to do with fables, and it is The Unwritten. And it's issue number 27. I just love The Unwritten. Mike Carey he writes such he has such a talent for this rich storylines that he creates. I mean, sure, he has, you know, a plethora of material to use. I mean, this is, as we all know, it's all about kind of books and literature and how it affects the world and how it affects us. But he's just so creative in telling these stories and developing his characters. He doesn't just use, obviously, the kind of medium of comics in their traditional sense that we have. You know, he throws in the whole kind of internet, you know, the forum, to tell forums on, like, you know, sites, you know, like comic book sites and, you know, fan sites. You get like random, you know, fans and not so fans of people, you know, arguing away on forum message boards. But he uses this to tell more of the story, and it really drags you in, and just makes it a really kind of exciting and magical read, which is what it should be, because there's a hell of a lot of magic going on. This is just another nice issue. It's the first part of the new story arc. What did they call it? It's probably on the first page. I'm not looking properly. It's something about Genesis, isn't it? Oh, I love this book, I really do. I just don't know anything about it. On to Genesis, that's it. It's part one of a 4-story arc, and this is kind of leading on and more depth into the diaries of Tommy Taylor's father, and hopefully finding more clues about who he is and where he came from, and maybe more what he is. Thoroughly recommended. I love this book. It's always very, very near the top of the pile when I come to decide what I'm going to read first. Go pick it up. Birds of Prey, number 14. Really? Do you want to go out like this? This is the penultimate issue before we have the soft reboot. And I'm so disappointed. I mean, one, Gail Simone's not writing it. She's been there from the start. This is her little baby. Always has been. And sure, I'm sure she's very, very busy with the whole new title she's got on the reboot. But wouldn't it have been nice, Gail, you know, just to finish it off? Big bang. I mean, this is Birds of Prey against Nazis. I wasn't thrilled with it. It was pretty obvious where it was going, given the little kind of history backstory that went with it. I don't know who this Andreyko is who's writing it now. Maybe someone can remind me of anything else he's written, but oh, poor Birds of Prey. I was really enjoying this title as well. Green Lantern, number 67. Another title that... Oh, I mean, I've always been a big fan of Green Lantern since they started again and brought him back with Rebirth. I've thoroughly enjoyed pretty much all of, you know, the 67 issues that Hal Jordan's gone through. It has suffered somewhat because it's been so entrenched in events. You had the Sinestro Corps War, you had Blackest Night, you had Brightest Day, now you've got War of the Green Lanterns, and it hasn't really had a chance at any point to just tell a simple tale, you know, maybe a 1 or 2, maybe 3 arc storyline. It's always been these huge, sprawling, epic crossover events, and you know, they were good, but War of the Green Lanterns was not. Maybe it was if you bought all the rest of the titles that went round it, so you got a fuller picture of this. I think I said last time I wasn't prepared to do this. I couldn't afford to just pick up the other titles just to get the full story. So I feel I've got about a third of a story of this, and I've not been impressed at all. As I was reading this, I just looking, thinking this is meant to be, well, this is meant to be pretty. It's meant to look nice, but all I could think of was that some child had ate bags and bags of Skittles and then vomited all over the pages. And then there were just so many kind of, well, not inconsistencies, but kind of like, what? I mean, if you've not read this yet, I've got to talk about this, and it will spoil a little bit of it. Well, it'll spoil a big bit of it, so maybe you should stop and, you know, forward it about a minute, or until, you know, you see me pick up the next comic. Obviously, they extract the main entities, the emotional entities, out of the Guardians, and you would think after they had been through that kind of ordeal, their ideas about things might have changed, but no, they just completely reverted back to how they used to be, emotionless, rational, to the point of, you know, being completely anal about it, and it just didn't kind of ring true with me. Maybe I've missed something along the way, not reading it all, but... And yeah, Hal Jordan isn't the Green Lantern anymore, but it doesn't matter because there's another Green Lantern down the road. It's another issue 1, as if Hal Jordan is going to stay without a ring for long. Disappointing ending to what was a great series, but I can't say pick this up because it's the last issue. You're either picking it up already or you're not. Now, on to Batman The Dark Knight. Yes, believe it or not, issue 3 has come out. Bit pointless, to be honest, you know. I think there'll be one more issue and then the reboot. I've so looked forward to this title, and I think it has suffered a great deal from the reboot. David Finch is probably mightily pissed about this. You know, he probably saw... Well, this is it, you see. When this title started, they must have known something was in the works coming up ahead, that DC were going to relaunch all their titles again. So, one question, why did they bother starting this title? Given that, you know, the delays it's had between issues, and that really whatever's going to happen in here is not going to be worth a thing when it comes to the relaunch. So I mean, yeah, Finch can do whatever the hell he likes in it, but it doesn't mean anything, and to be honest, I don't really think he's tried very hard. The artwork is really nice. I love Finch's artwork, but he's not the greatest storyteller. It's kind of obvious. It's kind of predictable and cliched. And I really was looking forward to this title. They built it up as the kind of the supernatural side, the more quirky villains of Batman's rogue gallery, and that said, it's not going to have time to develop. I'll obviously collect what's left to finish the storyline off, but it all just felt like I'd read it before, and better. Red Robin, number 25. This almost got my pick of the week if it wasn't for the comic after this. This wraps up the current storyline, the bigger picture, part 3, and we left Tim Drake about to be, well, for want of a better word, raped. So he could help conceive the next kind of superhero stroke villain, and then Batgirl, or well, she was Batgirl, Cassandra Cain throws herself in, and I think she's called the Black Bat now. Very exciting issue. I had lots of fun. I've always had fun with this title. Personally, I think it's been pretty solid writing by Nietzsche, all the way through. And I just had a great time with it. Of all the titles, DC titles I collect, I have to say that I will miss this one the most. It's just been a great fun ride. Unfortunately, again, it's a shame that it is being rebooted, because Fabian has put a lot into this, and he's going to have to leave a lot of things hanging. They've developed a lot of storylines. They've hinted at certain things going on in Tim Drake's future. But with the reboot, again, does it matter? It's really difficult reading DC at the moment. Knowing, or I don't know, not knowing how much is going to be retconned, how much has happened, how much hasn't happened in this current universe that we're reading. Yes, I'm going along with the ride. I'm just thinking, no, we're not rebooting in September. This will all make sense, and it will all be developed as we go on. Obviously, deep down inside, I know that's not true. But hey, I've had fun with Tim, Red Robin, while he's been going. And I'm kind of excited for the last issue. It's Captain Boomerang, and I guess a bit of revenge story for Red Robin. I'm sure there'll be a huge twist on the end of it. Great read. Finally, for comics, and it's my pick of the week. It's The Amazing Spider-Man, and it is issue 665. And this was just the most awesome read of the week. It's only like a one-issue story, kind of a one-shot, but oh, so much is packed in here, which is fun, it's emotional, it's dramatic, it's powerful, there's some nice subtle moments, it's nostalgic. I just love the story, and the artwork, Stegman and Camuncoli. It's just really nice to look at as well. This is a nice story about Peter and Betty Brant, who was one of his very first crushes from way back when Peter Parker was just kind of like a student, just going through, you know, his teenage years, and you know, Betty Brant was the receptionist. And she's gone through a lot. She certainly has, through her tenure of Amazing Spider-Man. And she kind of gets it again really badly in this issue. And there's some very nice moments. You get all the characters coming in. There's Flash there. There's J. Jonah Jameson in there. There's just so many characters that they're all there for a reason. They're not just superfluous. They're not just thrown in for the sake of it. Dan Slott writes the shit out of this. He really does. It's great to see Spider-Man, you know, pulling out his inner Batman, because he really does have a serious Batman moment in this issue. that 2-page splash page there, it's just beautiful. The panelling design using the webbing to divide it all up. Yes, it's kind of been done before, it's been seen before, but it's so kind of useful and interesting, and it's just so nice to look at. To be honest, I don't often read a comic again straight away, but I did with this one. Pick it up, get on board. It's almost time for Spider Island, and I've got my fingers crossed for it so much, because I'm hoping it is going to be just a great fun event. Yes, it's getting crossed over. Am I going to bother with any crossovers? No. Spider-Man, I want the story told in there. I want to be able to pick up each issue and know exactly what's going on. I hope that's going to happen. Pick this up though. It's a one-shot storyline and it will just move you. And if it doesn't, then you're dead. And that's it for comics. Quickly, in other news, so this video doesn't get too long, the October solicits for DC are out already, which I think is hilarious. They haven't even brought out the issue #1s yet, and we're already finding out about the issue 2s. Christ, I thought I knew what I was going to pick up, and I am so confused now. I'm being completely indecisive. I keep crossing things out, putting them back in. I'm having a real hard time now thinking of what I'm going to pick up from DC, but there you go. In trade paperback news, I have picked up the 3rd of Sweet Tooth, and I am devouring this. I love this. I don't know what it is. I always seem to not think a new title is going to be any good, so I leave it and then I pick up the first trade, and it's just fantastic. It happened with Chew, it happened with Walking Dead. I always now have to wait for the trades, and I just feel so far behind everyone else. But I love Jeff Lemire writing this. The artwork is just crazy screwed up, but it is just a really good read, and if you haven't started reading Sweet Tooth, I thoroughly recommend it. And finally, just a shout out to Agent 42Q. Cheer up, buddy. Oh, we've all missed you. Make some more videos, mate. If you don't know who Agent 42Q is, go over and see his channel. He makes some excellent videos. I love watching him. He's so intelligent about comics. I know he doesn't think so, and I hope I haven't embarrassed him, but he is. He puts me to shame. I'm just a fan of comics and I just go bleh. But I think he really does think about what he's going to say, and all the better for it. Maybe I should start doing that too. I don't know. But, you know, Agent 42Q, you're great, man. Do some more videos. Go over and check him out. Cheer him up, because he's down in the doldrums and he shouldn't be. And that is me for this week. I hope you have a great weekend. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Put some comments down below and like wherever it is. And tell your friends. I'm on Twitter, same username, Ghost Critic. Follow me on there for just random chats about comics, TV and the like. And I shall see you next week. Goodbye.